How you doing? My name is Jose and today I'll be talking to you about the new Dior Homme Original. So let's go back in time and let me introduce Dior Homme, right? Let's call this one the OG because it was like the original. So the OG, right? So this is a fragrance that when you first smell it, like first of all is amazing. It's a fragrance that I do truly love, and it's a fragrance that from the start you can already tell that it has a citrus part from bergamot, lavender, and the main DNA note of all times, that is that iris. But you can tell that not only the iris is gonna make the DNA of the fragrance, because you do have some leather as well with patchouli and vetiver. Alright, so this part of vetiver is gonna make your fragrance like, you know, a little bit woody. That's one of the main things of Dior Homme OG. So this is a fragrance that the smell is amazing, right? It's a fragrance that I don't know anyone that says, you know what, I really don't like Dior Homme. I've never heard that. So, you know, that's have to be part of why they did the new release of the original. And also maybe the fact that some people didn't like the 2020 launch, but let's talk about this one later. But this is a fragrance that the scent is amazing, as well as the projection and the durability of this one. It's a fragrance that a lot of people enjoy, including myself. It's a fragrance that I use it and I'm like, oh man, I feel like the real man right now. So that's pretty much the OG. And the time passed and we did have a new launch of the Dior Homme, and it's the 2020 version. This is a fragrance that many people didn't like. I'll be honest to you, I do love it. It's a fragrance that I smell it and I'm like, I mean, it's not the same. It's a fragrance that you can really tell the difference between these two, but I do enjoy it. So first of all, you can see the new image of the bottle, right? So now you got the big name of Dior Homme versus the old one that you didn't. You just have Dior Homme right here down below. But the main difference about the new launch of Dior Homme 2020 is that now we don't have iris. So the new 2020 the Dior Homme doesn't have the same DNA as Dior Homme did. It doesn't have the iris. This part of iris is like very important, is part of the DNA hell, but now we have the bergamot. We still have the same citrus part that the OG did, but with the new addition of pink pepper that actually makes the fragrance a little bit more spicy. But since we don't have the iris, we need something that's gonna perform or smell kind of, and it's LME, right? So this part of LME is gonna make the fragrance a little bit resin, all right? But that's not alone, but it's mixed with musk. So this part of LME and musk is gonna give you the appearance that the fragrance is creamy like this one. But we also have this part that's gonna make the fragrance woody, and it's going to remind you to the OG, and we're talking about some cedar or woody notes with vetiver. But I will say something, and it's that I do like the 2020 version. Some of you guys really don't like it. I'll be honest, I do love it. Right, don't get me wrong, I will prefer like the OG version like all day long. But you know, this one has something that is like, it's interesting, and I do really like it. So this is a fragrance that the scent, I truly love it. Some people will not actually like it, like not even a little, but I do love it. Besides that, it has great projection and great performance. And if you're looking for compliments, I do recommend the 2020 version on younger people. But now you're here for the new Dior Homme Original, you know, the version, the newest launch of Dior Homme. And this is a fragrance that is gonna be almost the same as the OG, right? The main difference between these two, and I'm just gonna say it out loud, is that between 1 and 2 hours, the OG is gonna be a little bit citrus, all right? You're gonna get this part of bergamot harder, all right, so louder. That's the main thing. But from apart that, it's actually pretty much the same fragrance. But you're probably saying, all right, so it has to have something to be a little bit better, and yeah, it does, all right. So the original, it's a fragrance that I'm gonna just say it is, well, I think that it's a fragrance like Dior Homme Intense, but the main difference is that it's not that loud, all right. So Dior Homme Intense, it is intense, but the original is like the intense, but not that intense. So as I was saying, you pretty much think, all right, the newer version, it has to be like all around better because it's newer and everybody thinks like newer is better. And I'll be honest, it depends, right? The newer version, the original, it's a fragrance that its performance, it's better than the OG. I tested it out and I can say it's better, as well as the projection and the fact that it will get you much compliments, right? But if you're a person that you are like, you know, I remember back in my days smelling the OG and I wanna see if it's like the same, you're gonna get a little bit disappointed because the fact that it doesn't have that part of citrus too much loud on the newer version, because on the old one it was loud. So the newer version, it's a fragrance that you can use it for all, right? You can go to the school, you can go to a date, you can pretty much do anything with this. The main thing is, well, if you live in a zone that it's like really hot, I wouldn't recommend it, right? But if you do live in a zone that is like very hot, I do recommend going with the 2020 version, because this one has that part of bergamot a little bit more louder, and it's not that dense of a fragrance, the 2020 version. But the original, it is a little bit dense, you know, you have to be careful with the sprays that you're gonna put on it, because, you know, I did put like a little bit extra, and with the heat, it's not pretty cool. So both of these fragrances, the original and the 2020 versions, are for different people, right? If you're a younger version, a younger person, I do recommend going with the 2020. Why? Because it has more of that citrus part. That means like it's a little bit more like playful fragrance instead of the Dior Homme original. It does, all right. The original is not that playful, but it smells more like a serious type of person. So I said that the 2020 is more for younger people, right? What do I think about the original? This fragrance doesn't have age range, right? So I do recommend it for everyone. And when I say everyone, is that I literally to everyone. Why? Because it is a unisex fragrance as well. It's a fragrance that men or women can use it, and even if you're going to school or you're going into a date or to the club. But take in mind, if you are going to the club, please like put more sprays on you so people can notice you, because if someone has like 1 million or arrows, you're probably not gonna be like the loudest fragrance on the room. So that's all for today. I hope that you enjoy it. My name is Jose Pablo, and you know what? Smell you later.